Hey, what is up, YouTube? This is the Thrift Shop Hustler. This is the first time I'm going live on this channel. I wanted to do a quick what sold on eBay this week or last week video. For those that know, I've been reselling for many years, even before eBay. I hit up a lot of garage sales, thrift stores, estate sales, and I find a wide variety of things. I don't really sell clothes that much. That's not really my niche, but I do sell a lot of collectibles, knickknacks, paddywhacks, that kind of stuff. So let's get right into it, and hopefully today you'll learn a little something, maybe about a subject that you're not familiar with or something that will spark your interest. So first off, we have this Bushnell Sharpshooter Sportsman Rifle Scope. I picked up two of these for $40, and the other one is really crazy. It's over worth $100. Now, for the most part, you want to kind of stay away from scopes if they're all banged up, because for the most part, scopes aren't going to be worth that much. You're going to usually find like the cheaper brands, and if they're going to be usually smaller. And just when you buy these, if you get a good price on them, pick them up. If you can get them for like $5-10 each. I paid a little up on these when I sourced these from the thrift store because they were in mint condition. Well, there was this one. This one sold actually really quick, and this one I took a best offer for $35 on this one from a $49.99, so almost broke even. I have the other one listed, and whatever that one sells is going to be pretty much pure profit on that. So scopes, make sure you take a look at scopes. The next one up is this Coral Draw Graphic Suite 4. This one was actually a really good sale, mostly because I purchased this from Goodwill for 99 cents. It was on their DVD shelf. Pro tip is always look at the DVD shelves and look for sealed software, especially some of the older software that people can't get could go for big bucks. Sorry, I need some coffee. It's like the elixir of the gods. So yeah, so this one didn't go for 99. I did a high one on this one just to see how high it would go, because there was previous sales around that price. I took a best offer for this one for $75, and from a 99-cent sale, that's actually very good. The thing with software you got to watch out is sometimes I think like Adobe you have to be careful with, because sometimes they're upgraded versions or the educational versions, and sometimes you're blocked or gated in Amazon for that, and for the most part usually, and even eBay will cancel. I had an Adobe Photoshop thing that got canceled from Adobe. I think it was a Vero or something like that they were. It wasn't a Vero. It was just like I couldn't sell that particular brand, and so that one was a bummer. But this one was actually a great sale. Just do your research. If you come across these, I mean, honestly, for 99 cents, I just bought this because for any sealed software, it's gonna go for like $10 or more for sure. All right, so keep an eye out for that. Oh, this this book was actually very interesting. I have a local thrift shop that's in town that had a bunch of stuff one day when I was in, and they were asking me if I wanted to take a look at some of this stuff, because I do some consulting sometimes, and they wanted me to kind of appraise and look at a lot of this stuff that they had. And the funny part was, it looked like it was from the Tonight Show. I'm here in Burbank, California, and they have a lot of studios here, and the Tonight Show with Jay Leno was filmed here for many years. And I think somehow, like, I don't know if he was clearing out the place or whatever, but this thrift store got a lot of his stuff in. And I say his stuff because this book was actually signed to Jay Leno from the author, which was pretty crazy. I also got some other things. There was a bunch of Harley stuff in there, and I picked up some patches. But this was the book that I also picked up for this. I forget how much I paid for this book. I think it was like $10. And the funny part is, I just bought this book because I thought it was cool, and I didn't even realize it was signed till after I got home. And that's another actually tip too, is to actually check out. I can't tell you how many times in my city that I've come across art books that were signed by the artists and illustrators and stuff like that. So this was actually a really, really good sale. This one, I took a best offer for 75 on this. This was actually sat for, I would say, like 2 months before it sold. I actually had this listed for 200 at one point because a lot of the sales that were before were in the $100 range. So I decided to go high on this one since it was kind of like a weird specialty thing signed to Jay Leno, which I thought was super cool, and from 1998. But I kept dropping the price down as I went along on that one. So let's check out the chat and see if we have anyone here. We got one person watching, it looks like. So we're going to keep going. There's no questions in the chat. If you have any questions in the chat, please post them, and I'll see what I can do with that. So let's do the next one. I have these Eyelash Lab eyeliner. I bought a box of these. They were like a closeout sale from, I forget where I got these, but they were a closeout. They were $1 each. I bought the whole box, and I sold 3 of these for $6.95 each. So that was actually a pretty good profit on that. The next one is this Hallmark recordable storybook. This was one of those items that I had around the house. It was brand new, and it was an older one. And you got to watch out for these older Hallmark recordable books. I don't know if I have a picture of the back. Yeah. And yeah, some of them go for a pretty good amount of money because they retire and you can't get them anymore. So check out this one. This one actually sold. Did this one go for that much? Yeah, this one went for the whole $49.99. So something that was just around the house, got a quick $50. And I actually shipped this media mail. Another pro tip, if you're going to be selling heavier books or DVDs or VHS, you can send them media mail. Just don't put any advertising inside of them, like a thank you card, or even, I don't even put an invoice in these because I don't want anything to happen. Because with media mail, it's for media only, books, CDs, software, stuff like that. And one of the rules is you can't have any advertising slips inside of the package. So when you ship media mail, just try to make sure you don't put any of that kind of stuff in. So this was a really good sale. And excuse me, I'm a little congested today. I think my allergies are starting to kick up. Here's another software thing. This one sold for $29.99. It's a Macromedia Studio 8. This was older software. This one I bought with a bundle of, I think it was a Photoshop thing too, or an Adobe Creative Suite. And this came with it, and I sold the Creative Suite for, I think I got like $80 for it. So anyways, this came in a bundle. I think I picked it up for like $10. This one sold for $29.99, and the buyer that bought it was really nice. He was wondering if it was a upgraded version or a full version. This one happened to be a full version, Studio 8, $29.99. This one also shipped media mail. And we have this Sega Genesis Street Fighter 2. Always look out for older vintage video games, especially Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, GameCube. This one happens to be Sega Genesis. This one is actually really clean in the box with instructions. This thing was like pretty much almost mint condition. And I picked this up at a local thrift shop for $2, sold for $19.95. Alright, so let's look at the chat again. Okay, only one person watching. And let's go back to this. The next one was this Marcus Allen bobblehead. I picked this up from a local Goodwill for $5. This one sat for about a week. I had a ton of offers for this thing. No one wanted to pull the trigger at $19.95, and finally, a couple weeks later, someone did. $19.95. This one went first class. I think it was under 12 ounces. It didn't cost me too much. I made a few dollars on this one, but I wanted to show you this bobblehead. And if you pick bobbleheads up, try to get them for like $5 or less. There's some of them that are worth good money, and if you can look it up and see if they're... I remember buying one the other day for, I think it was $2, and it ended up going for like $34.95. So bobbleheads, $5 is a really good price unless you can find those higher end ones, which they're out there for more, but just do your research on those. I also bought boxes, shipping boxes that fit bobbleheads because I do a lot of bobbleheads every year. And I picked up boxes that are specially for that. This Quake thing sold for, how much did this one go for? This one went for, I didn't write it down. Of course I didn't. I think this one went for like 60. This one went like for $72.99 shipped. This was, I forget where I got this. I think I got this at in a bundle of stuff that I had for years, and this was a sealed Quake 2, which had, there was like, okay, so there was the main game, and then there was 2 expansion packs that went with this one. And what was good about this is they're all sealed, and the boxes were in like mint condition, and this was from 97, and some of them were from 98. So this one is, you know, almost 20 years old. I had a lot of interest in this, but no one wanted to pull the trigger at $99.99, so one guy said $69.99. Or around there. It was like $72.99 shipped. So, and then so I let it go because honestly it was just something I had around the house and just let it go. The next one is these 3 Xbox wireless controllers. I think I was in like $9 for these 3. They came with in a bag of electronics I got the other day, and I actually have this was part of a video I made a couple days ago that I had a bag of electronics for $20. This actually sold really quick. I think I could have got more for this. I want to say the wireless ones go for like $19.99, but since they were used and they were a little dirty, they were tested and worked. So that had it going for them. There was really no corrosion or anything in the batteries. The thing is, for these any kind of wireless controllers, you want to check the battery compartments. Because usually when you find them at a Goodwill or a garage sale or something, people like leave the batteries in them, and they corrode really easily. The batteries kind of like explode a little bit, and you can easily clean that stuff out too with a little bit of. I usually use Q-tips and Windex, and you can clean corrosion up pretty good. But also test it after the fact because you know sometimes the corrosion gets into the electronics and it doesn't work. So always test your electronics if you can, and if you can't, just disclose, you know, it didn't test as is, and we can go from there. Lastly, we have this Dr. Seuss Mohawk Grinch hat beanie. Actually, this is actually really cool. I actually like this. The colors on this were super vibrant, and I picked this up at a garage sale for $1. This one actually sat for a little bit. I want to say this one sat for like 3 or 4 weeks before it sold. I thought it would sell a lot faster. This one actually was listed on Poshmark also. Any clothing items or accessories I will list on Poshmark also. And yeah, so that is that. So this was basically some of the things that sold over the last month. I haven't done one of these videos before, so I had to go back a little bit. And these are the more interesting sales. I don't do a lot of clothing. I do a lot of collectibles and knickknacks and things like that. So I'll be making these videos maybe every couple weeks or every week if I sell enough stuff, and you guys can check it out. So I appreciate everyone who was tuning in. Let's check the chat real quick to see if there's any questions or anything like that. And no questions. So I appreciate everyone's support on this new channel. All the likes and everything and all the comments. I really appreciate it. So I'm wishing everyone a great week. It is Monday. Let's get those listings going. And thank you again, and we'll see you guys real soon.